Today's conversation is on my inspirations from the book The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. The Alchemist. It was this book, alongside another book called The 4-Hour Workweek by Timothy Ferriss, that inspired the resignation from my corporate career back in 2009. I was inspired by the idea of leaving the company that I worked for 10 years to start my own business. And what ended up happening was I listened to the audiobook of The Alchemist, and after listening to it, I felt it was time to tender the resignation. This book is about a boy named Santiago. And what he learns is how to live his personal legend. Live life on purpose. Today I would like to discuss with you 7 key insights from the book The Alchemist. And this is part of the playlist that I put together for your benefit, which I'll link to in the description, on various books that have been very helpful for me on my entrepreneurial journey, cultivating communication skills, and experiencing harmonious relationships, personal relationships, business relationships, friendships. Areas of life that are very important to me, that are part of living my personal legend. So 7 key insights. Insight number 1. Live life with purpose. Live life on purpose. Discover your personal legend. For me, every now and then, I would receive within, via intuition and insight. And this insight might be to do something that is, let's say, out of the ordinary. Something that I've never done before, which we can call a bold move or an unconventional move. I trust you've received within these kinds of intuitions as well. And as you listen to them, what you notice is that everything conspires, we could say, as he articulates in the book, to contribute to actualizing in a wonderful theatrical way. People appear, signs, synchronicities. Environments seem to dance to be in harmony with you, as you are in harmony with environment. I trust you've noticed this. Now, there was a number of times in my life where I could recall these insights that upon moving forward with those insights, my life experience changed, we could say, rapidly and dramatically, profoundly. And so discovering your personal legend is a matter of listening to yourself. And by listening to yourself, I'm not talking about the mental chatter that appears in mind that arises from beliefs that suggest otherwise. We can call these thoughts that arise from these beliefs doubts, fear, uncertainty. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with you if these kinds of thoughts arise in mind after receiving within via intuition and insight, which could radically change your life. It could be something like start a business, start a new career, move to another country. Ultimately, each person chooses if they would like to live on purpose or not. What I have found is during those moments, when I believe those thoughts of doubt, uncertainty, fear, which again is not me really thinking, they're just thoughts in mind from beliefs we could say I was once identified with, which may have been helpful, yet it was time for them to be released. We could say those beliefs no longer served me. I trust you know what I'm talking about. A person may, let's say, be challenged by particular thinking patterns that suggest otherwise from listening to their heart and intuition. And it may even appear as people, environment, information echoing those doubts, which is an illusion. Why do I say that? Because only the individual in mind can relate to what people say, information, environments, and form conclusions, form beliefs in mind as a result of those conclusions. And if they are not authentic, then for me what it felt like was not being on purpose, like the flow was restricted. So we could say those beliefs were generating the illusion of flow restriction. Which brings me to point number 2, which is transcending the fear of the unknown. So we could say those beliefs, which may have been helpful, that when identified with, generated the experiences, are now being questioned as intuition provided an insight that feels so right. Yet, these beliefs generate thoughts of doubt, uncertainty, fear, which results in emotions being experienced in a way where we could label them as doubt, fear, uncertainty. And there's no problem. Really, there's no problem as you transcend these doubts. You transcend the emotions. We can, if we choose to live on purpose, which I can say was very rewarding for me, both in the results, actually experiencing, having wonderful life experiences all throughout, business successes, etc. What was also rewarding is absolute freedom. Thinking for yourself. Not thinking that anything can hold you back. You do what you desire to do, when you desire to do it, how you desire to do it. And it also, as mentioned, happens to be in harmony with people, environment, etc., which is interesting. All by living on purpose, being on purpose. And so there were moments where there was fear, yet there was also excitement, because I knew that something exciting was about to happen. I was going to go on a journey and experience all these wonderful events in my life, which happened. So many over the years, which I've shared with you over the years and shall continue to share with you as we continue these conversations. And you and I know different. You can listen to your heart and intuition. There's a sense of excitement that's there. And while there may be fears, which is just beliefs being released, such as, if this condition is met or that condition is met, then it means love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment. We can see clearly that is an illusion. We could say, as a result of those identifications, the person conforms to the illusions. You could say they feel stuck. They know that they desire change. Intuition reveals it. They received a clear step. Yet taking that step, or the thought of taking that step, is generating particular thoughts. And the idea of taking that step generates emotions being experienced in a way that we could say is fear-based. Now, what I have found from experience is if a person allows the emotions to be released and does the thing that they genuinely desire to do, which is revealed within via intuition, those beliefs that generate emotions being experienced that way, and those thoughts that appear in mind that suggest otherwise, disappear. And then the person is no longer identified with those beliefs. They have transformed. And as a result of the transformation, everything changes around them. And more accurately put, everything appears to be in harmony with them. So number 3 is listen to your heart and intuition. Listening to your heart and intuition, I have found, initiated these journeys. And listening to the heart and intuition on the journey provided clear insights as to what to do, not do, etc., in relation to what appears. Clear guidance. And as this continued, everything we discussed so far, as this continued, mind became purified from these illusory beliefs, these conditions, suggesting I am not love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment, or saying that I can only be or I can only experience love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment if particular conditions are met. As these conditions are released, a person flows on purpose, we could say. Being on purpose, you flow on purpose, not for this or that reason. Rather, because that's how you are. You live on purpose. And you experience a wonderful, exciting adventure in life. And you also notice that everything appears to be in harmony with you. And that those beliefs that suggested otherwise were not real. And it's a wonderful experience, listening to your heart and intuition. Now, a question might be, well, what if the heart and intuition seem to conflict with particular thinking patterns? Well, what I found is by taking a moment to be still, allowing the illusions of conflict to be released in mind, as in those thinking patterns also arise from beliefs that there can be conflict in mind. What happens is you actually reconcile the intuitive feeling with the thinking. It's reconciled because they're not in conflict. Actually, if you think that they are in conflict, then it's not you really thinking. That's beliefs arising in mind, suggesting conflict in mind. Conflict can only appear in mind based on beliefs that suggest that conflict is in mind. Conflict is an illusion when it comes to matters of the heart and intuition. Being on purpose is the natural way of being, true way of being. We could say only way of being that is real way of being. Number 4, he talks about how the entire universe is set up in a way to be in your favor, or as he says, conspires to help you. And I agree, it does. You see it more so. You take that intuitive step, and the next step appears. A message appears, a sign appears, a synchronicity appears. And we could say it might not make any sense to anyone else, but that's okay. You know what it means to you. See, part of this is learning to listen to yourself and trust yourself. A person may be looking around to this world and looking for approval, validation, or confirmation. And only if they find, we could say, what they think of as approval, validation, or confirmation. Then they allow themselves to do what they genuinely desire to do, which is an illusion. That kind of thinking arises from thinking patterns that suggest that the outer world can tell you what to think, which is an illusion. Only you think in relation to what appears. We can say you give meaning to what appears. Is it from the premise of your true nature? Or is it not? A person may say, what is my true nature? Well, living this way, I found, being on purpose, living your personal legend, you discover it. It continues to unravel within. It grows from within, you could say, with increasing frequency on a continuous basis, more and more so each day. And it's easier to, number 5, enjoy the process, value the journey and the destination. As I mentioned many times, I value the journey and the destination. Why do I value the journey and the destination? Because the journey is full of wonderful life experiences and opportunities to, which is part of number 5, value the challenges. As we discussed in our flow video, where we explored flow by Mihai Csikszentmihalyi, you can experience flow where challenge meets skill. If a person experiences what they can call challenging, there is an opportunity to transmute into skill the challenge. If a person enjoys the steps, and enjoys each part of the journey, the relationships, the conversations, the initiatives, if it's tasks, if it's projects, and not thinks, I need to be here or there to be happy, to experience love, to experience fulfillment elsewhere, which, being on purpose, provides those opportunities. Then what happens is a person remains on purpose and mind is purified from those beliefs that suggest otherwise. Because what I found, and it was also discussed in the book, that while you're on the journey to actualizing your purpose, as you live your legend, living your personal legend, as he said, there may be points to pivot. Maybe relationships might transition. Nothing wrong with that. See, a person may have formed an identity around the relationship, saying, this relationship now needs to be held on to tightly in order to experience love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment. Or material possession. Again, who gets to decide? You do. I won't tell you that you need to do this or you should do that or this is how you should live. You know. I can talk about my experiences. You can hear about the experiences of people that also live their personal legend. And you'll discover some patterns. And it will make even more sense to you, which is point number 6. Understand the language of the world. The world does have a language. If a person is, let's say, stuck in their head, they don't pay attention to the language around them, the patterns around them. They may then try to control the patterns in a way that generates unnecessary force, stress, frustration, rather than surrendering that need to control, acknowledging that everything appears to be in their favor. This may seem like a radical idea. In the beginning, I thought that as well. Yet, I have seen that it's like this. Otherwise, I wouldn't make a video sharing my experiences with this book, talking about it. This has been my experience. You understand the language of this world. It's fascinating. For example, in business, you know what moves to make. You can see patterns before they play out. And so you know what moves to make next. In conversations, you know where the conversation is going. And you know what steps to take so that it is in mutual harmony. We can call this emotional intelligence as well. That plays a role. Emotional intelligence. All of this, again, going back to the beginning, is what I found a result of listening to my heart and intuition, which again started the journey, and on the journey continues to guide, continues to provide clarity, and also everyone who showed up along the way was also contributing, providing clarity. As I mentioned, they share their stories of being on purpose, living their personal legend, and their stories are infused with insights, relatability, as they have discovered these patterns as well. And I trust you have found as well through conversations with them that they enjoy the process, value the challenges, because they have come to the ultimate realization. Point number 7, that the treasure lies within you. There's that saying, the cave you fear to enter holds the treasure that you seek. I like that, because I found that to be the case at times. Particular moves which, prior to actually taking the step, fear-based thoughts from beliefs appeared in mind. Emotions were experienced as fear. Consider this. As I ended up taking those steps anyways, by releasing the emotions, which are energy in motion, by allowing the emotions to be released, which is energy in motion, and doing the thing that I genuinely love to do, if I take those steps again, I don't experience fear. I experience excitement. I experience love. I experience happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment. Why is that? Because I am being as I am. Being the way you are, that's what you truly desire. You truly desire to live the life that you truly desire to live. And you're always guided from within to live this life the way you desire to live. So the treasure lies within you. It appears without. It appears. So you discover it within you. You get a desire via intuition to take that step. Start a business, whatever it is. And again, it could be radically different, or so it could appear that way. It could mean change something drastically in your life. And in those times, perhaps, there may be beliefs identified with that if a person looks to this world for suggestions as to what to do, the world may appear to suggest otherwise, to not listen to intuition. Do it this way or that way. This way is better than that way. Is it true? Does it feel right? What I have noticed is that that's an illusion generated by those beliefs. I don't see those beliefs as holding me back from living my personal legend, because nothing can hold you back. What can hold you back? That's an illusion. The beliefs are looking to be released. As I say, illusions appear to disappear. So I don't identify with them anymore. I take that step anyways. I do the thing that I wanted to do. And what's interesting is the conversations change with people. The information changes, the environments change. All of a sudden now, people, information, and environments appear to be supportive of the purpose. Which is interesting because prior to that, the illusory beliefs were suggesting lacking support. Now all of a sudden, everything appears to be in harmony. So I had a choice, you could say. Continue to identify with the illusions, or really live and allow life to take me on this exciting adventure by thinking for myself, listening to myself, and trusting myself. And as you and I are no different, you could do the same as well. So I trust you found this video to be helpful. Let's conclude this with an auto suggestion to further encourage. You could say, I listen exclusively to my heart and intuition, as it is the voice of the source guiding me to be as I am. Live life how I truly desire to live. To experience as being on purpose. Purposeful life. As I am guided to and from the treasure within, to actualize that treasure as a purposeful life.